Well, the reigning Miss Arkansas, Camille Cathey, will represent the natural state in the upcoming Miss America pageant. Now, she recently graduated from the University of Alabama and is a first-year law student at the U of A Law School, and she's here today to talk about her journey. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to be on with you guys.
Absolutely. Yes, we're so happy to have you. So now you have been Miss Arkansas for about 2 months now, right?
Yes.
How's that been? How've the last 2 months been for you?
2 months have been so fun, and it's finally starting to set in. It's feeling like real life. I feel like the first month I was like, who is Miss Arkansas 2024? It can't be me. So now that we're past the 2 month mark, it's been a lot of fun, finally settling in and getting the hang of things.
And speaking of settling in too, we were just chatting that although you've been accepted to U of A Law School, you defer that, right?
Did.
For a year, but to be full-time Miss Arkansas, is that right?
So a lot of people don't realize that the job of Miss Arkansas is a 365-day job, and you really are on the job every day. So no matter what stage of life you're in, whether you're in college, if you have a full-time job already in the real working world, or you're like me going to law school, you defer whatever you're doing for a year. So the U of A Law School here in Fayetteville has been so fabulous working with me, and I'll be there next August, which I'm really excited about.
That's
great.
So amazing.
Yeah.
So now let me ask this. So the moment that your name was announced and you were officially crowned, what was going through your head?
To be completely honest, I think the first thing I was thinking was I have to call the dean. That literally was the first thing I think that I was like, oh my gosh, school, I have school next. So I think that was probably the first thing that went through my head, and then the rest was probably, it was just like a blackout. I was so happy. I really couldn't believe that a lifelong dream of mine was being fulfilled, and it all felt very surreal. I was looking for my family in the audience. And, it was the best day ever, seriously.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You have won, just this year alone, over like $46,000 in scholarships?
Exactly right.
Oh my gosh, so talk a little bit about that and maybe tell us kind of what that's going towards.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like oftentimes with pageants, there's this misconception that it's just something where you get on a stage and you flounce around in a pretty dress. And what I love about the Miss America organization and the job of Miss Arkansas is that this is completely a scholarship program. And actually the Miss America organization is the #1 leading scholarship program in the entire United States for young women, which is really, really cool. So for me, this organization has done so much to help me pursue my educational goals. Just like you said, I just graduated from the University of Alabama this past May, and the reason I went to the University of Alabama is because when I was Miss Arkansas's teen back in 2018, I got to serve Arkansas, but I also got a full scholarship to Alabama. So my entire undergraduate degree was paid for because of this organization, and now throughout my time in the Miss Arkansas organization, which was last year and this year, I won $25,000 last year and about $46,000 this year. So I'm looking at my law school being completely paid for too.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. My parents are definitely excited about that.
I bet they are. But it also speaks to the organization and how it gives back to young people like yourself.
Really.
The volunteers within it are amazing. It's an organization completely run by volunteers, so I couldn't do it without people who are willing to give back to young girls like me.
Yeah. And you talked about how you were in the Miss Teen side of things. How long have you been in pageantry? How long have you wanted to get to this stage?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was 6 years old, someone saw my picture in a hair salon, and it was a Miss Arkansas's teen contestant. And within Miss Arkansas's teen, we have something called the Diamond Program, and it's a mentorship program for young girls. So every Miss Arkansas contestant and every Miss Arkansas's teen contestant gets to bring a little girl with them on stage, which is really sweet. And so when I was 6 years old, someone saw my picture, wanted me to do that with them. So I became a part of the mentorship program from the time I was 6 to 10, and then I knew when I was 13, which is the youngest you can compete for Miss Arkansas's teen, that I wanted to start pageants. And so I competed from the time I was 13 to 16 for Miss Arkansas's teen, and then just last year when I was 21, I started competing for the job of Miss Arkansas. So
that is
really
so
amazing.
Things are gearing up for you to represent the natural state on a national level. How does that feel for you to represent Arkansas?
So crazy. I was telling someone the other day a statistic. I got to talk to Aquinas chapter, the oldest one in Arkansas, and they actually had someone from the NFL come and speak, a retired referee. And he was doing trivia with all the people in Aquinas, and I got up there and I said, well, since we're on the topic of the NFL and the Super Bowl and all the things, I was like, did you know that you are more likely to have a son compete in the Super Bowl than you are a daughter in Miss America?
Wow.
Because that's the statistic. So it's so crazy to put into perspective that I'll get to be on the Miss America stage and representing Arkansas. I just feel so grateful. Our state is such a special one, full of amazing people, and I feel really grateful that I get to represent everyone. So
we are going to be cheering you on.
Yes,
thank you.
Screaming,
Thank
cheering you on.
Thank you
so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.